All right, thank you for staying with us. So much to talk about security every day, any day. In this case, insecurity. But then in Anambra State, so that whatever is happening there doesn't metamorphose into a more terrible situation of insecurity. You remember the seat at home, that notorious order that was given by non-state actors, talking about IPOP, when the agitation was on, talking about, the situation of Nnamdi Kanu then, and which has been the situation across some parts of the southeast. And fast forward to now, last week, the governor of Anambra State, Chukwuma Soludo, told everybody, please, there is no need for this sit at home again. We will protect you. Everything is in order. The Anambra State has a duty to protect lives and properties of the citizens, of its indigent. So no need for anybody to observe any sit at home anywhere in Anambra State. But on Monday, the Onitsha Main Market was shut. It wasn't open, and the government frowned at it to say, while will the people, traders, still be listening, to orders given by non-state actors, and of course, he ordered a 1 week shutdown of that market. In the morning, enforcers were there. Towards the afternoon, some traders tried to gain entrance into that place, and it has become chaotic. And the governor has been speaking, and he even said, if markets in Anambra State will not reason or pan towards the directive of the government not to obey the sit-at-home order, he might even demolish any market, including the Onitsha Main Market. And of course, traders have been protesting. They've taken to the street, in protest against, the enforcement of Governor Chukwuma Soludo's directive, on the issue of sit-at-home, and he's threatened, has even shut it down for a week. Let me start with you, Governor Katch. This is your region. Chukwuma Soludo may be somebody you know personally, but he's saying there is no reason for anybody to sit at home again. Non-state actors should not still be dictating in 2026. And he has taken a step to shut down the Onitsha Main Market for 1 week, and is threatening more if they will still pan towards that directive. Do you think he has done well in this regard?
No, he has not done well. You don't force thoughts. You don't force emotions. You don't force reasoning. You cooperate with people and allow them to reason with you. You cooperate with the people, build confidences, and allow people to think good for themselves. In the neighboring state, Imo, it was done easily. The government moved in to places like Osun local government and did what they did, and there was peace. As I'm talking to you now, they are building the Olo Ihiala Road, and there is peace on that road. So there are things government must do to introduce the semblance of peace, security, that the people on their own will simply react to. So you cannot order people by force to open their shops when they don't feel comfortable opening their shops. Have you walked with them, spoken to them, sat them down to say what and what should I do for you to be more confident that when you open up, there will be no reprisals from whoever it is that are playing the enforcers? You don't just tell them open up. What for? I think he has gone about it the wrong way. He's not the only Igbo governor whose areas are affected by this sit-at-home. But he's trying to make it seem as if the traders are the ones enforcing the sit-at. They are not the ones. They're just being politely careful about their safety, and that's all. If you see in Imo State, in the Olu areas, we had the same problem. And I know how the governor followed it. And before you know it, people come out to Olu, come out to places, inquiry. There's nothing like that. People have to think for themselves. People have access to information that even the government doesn't have. They know when places are free. They know when there are no enforcers, and they will come out. They love to come out. They love to trade. So the governor trying to paint it as if the traders are the enforcers of sit-at-home, it's wrong. He has to engage them. He has to talk to them. He has to build confidences. And you don't build phone confidences if you don't speak to engage with the people. You don't do that. You're just shouting orders, giving instructions. You don't even want to have town hall meetings with them. You don't want to interact with them, to tell them what you're doing, what you believe can be done, if they have fears there and here, and then these things can be, defeated. So for me, I know what he's playing out. He believes since Buhari's government has gone and there is the end of unknown government covert operation in the east, that the people should just jump onto the street. Is not true. People are not going to just jump onto the street. People are still very fearful of the Nigerian state. Me and you are just discussing now about Bauchi State. Can you imagine Ningi, who is making all this noise at the Senate? His governor is sponsoring terrorism. So politicians can say one thing and do another thing. The people in Onitsha needs to be shown that the government is willing to work with them to bring back the markets gradually.
All right,
that can be done, that should be done. Yes.
We are at a loss for time, but I'd like to ask comrades this morning. Governor Soludo himself quoted the sum that would be lost if this sit-at-home continues, a very huge sum, if you'd ask. And he himself has now ordered that a week shutdown should be done. And he said if they do not even take, their cue from that, he would shut it down another week.
Demolish.
And he also said he would demolish if that, were to go on. Let's talk about the fact that he's talked about how much is going to be lost, the economy of the state. He said that it was a deliberate sabotage, economic sabotage. I want to say that the Monday sit-at-home is deliberate economic sabotage. Just one day in a week. And you have shut it down for a week and threatened to shut it down and even, demolish it. Talking about high-handedness, in the height. If you were to demolish what, you built with taxpayers' money, what's the saying about our leadership, the strength of it, and where we are as a nation?
It's unfortunate that we are finding ourselves in this kind of a situation. Now, there is a particular video trending where a lady said, Governor Soludo in 2023 gave a directive. You must go back. And one of the chairmen of the Spare Parts Sellers Association went and was bundled and taken away since then. Ransom paid, they have not found him. The family, wife and 7 children are still looking for their breadwinner, even till now, living on contributions from relatives. The governor has not explained anything to that family that obeyed his instruction. If is the market woman and men going to give the governor the money for what they sell on Monday? Is it not their money? It's their wares. So if they choose to close their shop on Monday, it is not as if they are dancing with the bandits or with the so-called non-state actors, but they are staying at home. It is high-handedness to think people cannot even protest. It's the right of every citizen to say, look, help us solve this problem. Help us solve this problem includes ensuring there are no non-state actors that can give instructions to people. You have not given assurances of that. There are pending cases of those who listened to you and have burnt their fingers in the process. The governor has not made any reference to that. And that's why more people should watch those videos where they are saying, look, this with specific names of individuals that have been lost, all because they obeyed the instruction of Professor Soludo. There are certain things you don't breathe down the necks of people, all because you are in power. Unfortunately, the political class in Nigeria can now imagine the governor saying, if I lock up for a week, somebody that was saying it's an economic loss, all because you want to prove a point that government is superior. Because, look, if you go to Alaba on a Monday morning, from that morning till like 12 noon, some will be in church saying they are praying in the morning. If you have ever gone there to buy things, and you have to wait until they come to their shop, you can't force them. So why must you force us to go to shop? Is it not our loss if we don't sell? If we have tax to pay you, we will pay you tax, but we may not open that shop that day. It's one day. you have days of the week and you say, oh, Sunday is rest day for some will be Friday. If somebody goes to a night shift as a nurse and his night off begins on Monday, will you say he should not start his night off? So you cannot force people to go and sell. It's their shop.
All right.
They paid government, they paid their taxes.
All right.
If they now fail to pay the tax for that day, is where you can now say, oh,
we are totally out of time. But I need Dr. Katch, take on this matter. Dr. Katch, can we in good conscience say that the Southeast is safe for trading, for schooling at any time of the day, and the non-state actors are not still having their way? Can we really say that?
Yes, we can say so. Since after the end of the Buhari administration, from what we know, I can tell you, yes, Nigerians are safe. It's just like as the Americans have come in to intervene here. You know things that were happening before that me and you know can happen again. So it's like that. If you have the knowledge of the background of these issues, you can then speak like this.
So why are why are those traders now afraid? Why are they still afraid? Why are they
the government also has to work with the people. As I said earlier, you work with them just like the Imo State government did in places like Osun. This is in Olo. This you have to work with the people. Show them what's going on. Talk to them and don't say, I'm a professor, you are an illiterate, so I can tell you. No! Well, it's a social issue when you are a politician. You engage with them on the same page. Right. So don't just back orders to them and think when they make suggestions, they don't know what they are saying. Soludo is wrong in this issue, okay? You speak to the people, show them what's going on. You remember how many times we've spoken on this your station for people to understand some of these things that are happening. But there are those who will still come in and probably because they are sent to come and do a denial, but those denials have not stopped
Dr. Katch,
from finally saying the truth.
Totally out of time. We more sincerely thank you today, especially on the issue of the Senate, having some of them raising eyebrow about institutional independence, and of course the situation in Anambra State. Dr. Katch Onanuju is the DG Heritage Center. Thank you for your time, Ayutu. And of course, Comrade Lanre Fadahunsi, thank you for your time as well. This is our country. We can only prosper, and we should prosper. So, your country as well.
All right, viewer, thank you so much for today. I bet the people of Onitsha would not agree with Governor Soludo, who says the Onitsha generates pittance, as talking about the larger economy.
Really?
But whatever it will be, details or more updates from that story and from the Makoko story. I'll be bringing you details from that in the coming days. My name is Temitope Ajijola Oluwaola. Thank you for joining us for this penultimate installment. Let's make it again tomorrow for the last installment for the week.
All right, you can have a recap of this program on our YouTube channel at Western Spring Television NG. Big shout out to the production team. Femi Ojo is my name. See you tomorrow.